How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. We are back. It's Thursday morning, and today we're going to do something a little bit different because we're not going to talk about a potential sign-in with Arsenal. We're going to talk about a potential outgoing, and that's Gabriel Martinelli. Now, there's been a lot of talk in recent weeks saying that if Arsenal are going to get a winger, then Martinelli would leave, and there's interest from Bayern Munich. There's also interest from Saudi, and I don't know where I sit with it. I get it, but yesterday was probably the clearest indication that he may well leave if Arsenal are going to get a left winger in particular, Rodrygo. And it was David Ornstein speaking on his podcast, and he was talking about that situation and saying that he believes that Arsenal sell Martinelli, then they're going to get a top level left winger in. But if he doesn't leave, then he's not too sure. And it's kind of, listen, if you're an Arsenal fan, there's so many conflicting reports, and 1 minute you're hearing that we want, a versatile 10/winger, a winger, a striker, and then it's the best thing you can do is just go outside, enjoy the nice weather, and not let any of this stress you out, because my word, it does stress you out. But yeah, the situation with Martinelli, and look, I like him. But he flatters to deceive on a lot of times. And I think he's one of these players where if you want to go to the next level, you're probably going to need better than Gabriel Martinelli. And I'll be honest about it. And, a couple of seasons ago, if you would have said that to any Arsenal fan, they would have sat there and went, "Are you mad?" On the back of a 15-goal Premier League season, he was absolutely electric. And we looked at him and thought, wow, what on earth have we found here? What a player. But then in the last 2 seasons, he scored less goals combined than that one season alone. And he hasn't even hit double figures. And it's just been really poor. Now, one of the biggest criticisms with Martinelli is that when he runs, his head is down and you just never know what he's going to do. And I was speaking about this recently, is you look at the other side with Bukayo Saka, and predominantly he will come inside and use his left foot, but he can also go on the outside and use his right foot. And 9 times out of 10, Bukayo Saka's going to deliver something. He's going to get a goal, assist, create a chance. There's always something. But with Martinelli, it's probably down the middle, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, where you look at him in a certain situation, you think, what are we going to get here? What's going to happen? Multiple times, I've watched games where Martinelli's gone through and I've never felt confident that he's going to score. I think the prime example would probably be PSG in the first leg of the Champions League, right on half-time. He's through on goal. And it wasn't like it was an unbelievable save from Donnarumma. It was just a poor finish. And at no point when he went through did I feel like he's going to score. And I was at the game. And I just remember him going through, and I was like, you just kind of hold your breath and you think to yourself, not really confident there. And we need a lethal finisher. We need somebody that when they go through, 9 times out of 10, you're thinking, this is in the back of the net. And listen, I think this is also something that a lot of people have spoke about and alluded to, is that Bukayo Saka gets doubled up, even trebled up a lot of the times. And it seems to me and a lot of other people that what they do is they look and they say, right, we need to focus all our attention on Bukayo Saka, double up on him. We can be less cautious of the left-hand side and just make sure we take care of that side, because we don't really feel that anything's going to happen down that side. Whether that's unfair criticism, whether that's a little over the top, that's how it looks to me. That's how it looks to a lot of people. And the fact that, you know, we're all talking about getting a new winger in, I just think that maybe now is the time. And like I said, 24 years old, I look and I think, where's his ceiling? Where could he potentially get to? And I just don't know whether he's going to rediscover what he did a couple of years or so ago and whether he could do that again. I just don't see it. And I know that people will say, if you're going to sell someone, sell Trossard. It makes more sense than everything else. I think you go with the fact that you have a more valuable asset in Martinelli and you'll get more, and that's why you would sell him. That's what I'm thinking anyway. You wouldn't really get a lot for Trossard. And listen, I don't think as a starter, Trossard is an answer, but he's more than capable of doing a job. And I feel that he's, you know, when in those crucial areas, Trossard is more of a finisher than Martinelli is. And if he was going to be, you know, a substitute more than not, and he doesn't sulk or whatever it is, then you're more likely to keep him than you would Martinelli. I just don't know where he can go, how much further. He's played nearly 200 games for Arsenal. So he's been around a very long time. He's got 18 international caps for Brazil. And ironically, when I watch him for Brazil, he has some really good games. But I don't know whether it's because we've been so inconsistent down the left-hand side in terms of left back. It's always changing. They don't suit his style. I just feel that we're at a point where you probably need to move on. And if you've got the opportunity of bringing a top level winger in, then I'm afraid that's football. And I'm afraid that's part of the business. And there's no sentiment. And it's as simple as that, really. Yeah, I can't really say much more than that, to be quite honest with you. I just feel that he's probably served his time, in my opinion. And like I said, there's a lot of times when I see and watch him and I'm left scratching my head and wondering what it is he does. A lovely lad. He's been superb since he's been here. You know, started out very young with the club. It's been, 5-6 years he's been here now, something like that, 2019. And listen, at the end of it, he's got a good song as well, hasn't he? And he plays for Arsenal. La 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 la. La 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 la. La, 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 la. But listen, at the end of the day, you can't keep a player because they got a good song, can you? It's his name is Gavin. You can get me singing it now. Listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I think it may well be time to move on. So, listen, let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you agree or disagree? Should we get rid of Martinelli? Do you understand the reasons behind it? And if it means getting rid of him to bring in that top-level winger, then so be it. So listen, there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe, And I will see you lot tomorrow. I'm out of here.